I just want to point you to a few of these projects. These are all extra credit in the Flare VM section, but this is where you get to play with WinDbg. And WinDbg is, of course, the great thing. And I learned this from a student in this class last semester. I was complaining about WinDbg, and the guy was a Microsoft engineer, and he said, we have a better version of WinDbg now called WinDbg Preview. And they do. You have to go get it from the Microsoft Store, but they have this thing called WinDbg Preview. You can only get it on Windows 10, and it is not as nice as like Ollie debug. But it's a whole lot better than the older Window debug. It's sort of half as handy. So, I've loaded it on my machine here. So I'm going to shove these instructions over to the side and just demonstrate things here. All right, so I've got my, I just hit start and type in WinDbg because I already put it on, and then I run it as administrator. You don't always have to run it as administrator, but you know, I'm not going to bother with anything else. We'll just run it as administrator. So there it is. This is letting me debug something. Now I have to tell it what I'm debugging. So I'm going to debug Notepad for starters. So it's File, Launch Executable. And then I can just put in a path like C, Windows. Right, come on, C, Windows, System 32, and then Notepad. All right, open that. All right. And just like Ollie, it loads Notepad and then stops. See, it hit a break instruction right here, and it's got an int3. So here you have the address, and this is 64-bit Windows. So you see it's a 64-bit address with 7FFF and then a bunch of random hexadecimal. Here's the CC, which is the same int3 instruction that you would see. That's what the break is. It put a break there, and it stopped. Here is the stack. You can view various panes there, but that'll do right now. The only thing I need to see is the stack. All right, and all right, so now I can, what you do is you put commands here. Now there are sometimes you can put in commands by clicking on things, but in fact the GUI is just pretty messed up and doesn't help that much. So learning how to put in commands is better. So X, Notepad, bang star will look for symbols that start symbols in Notepad. So here's Notepad, get device caps, open process token. These are all these symbols in Notepad, functions and other things. So I can get the symbols in Notepad containing the word main with star main star. And now there's only a few of them, and you see there's main CRT startup and WinMain and WinMain CRT startup. So these are various ways to start it, things involved in some way in starting it. And remember when we used Ollie debug and ran 32-bit code on a 64-bit machine, I said it's kind of confusing because you end up in some kind of startup routine and then some other startup routine. It's a while before you get down to the actual code that is what you would think you're going to see if you start from the source code. So we can put a breakpoint at WinMain, which is this one. With BU, we'll set the breakpoint. Come on, whoa, my machine is doing weird things. I launched something by accident. Go away. Whatever you're doing, don't do it now. All right. So, BU, Notepad, WinMain. Okay, so it succeeded and it did not complain. Then I can do BL to list my breakpoints. And there I have one breakpoint here at Notepad WinMain, and I could disable or clear it by clicking those links. But all right, now I'm going to run. I could run just with this go button here, or I can give it a G down here. Does the same thing. So it runs, it hits the breakpoint. Breakpoint 0 hit at Notepad main. Here's the stack showing here I am at ntdil user thread start. This is what the ntdil, remember that's the native API. So this is the call that the operating system made to launch Notepad. Then it went into some base thread in kernel 32. Then Notepad, and so this is as low as it goes. And so here's Notepad CRT startup, and now I moved into Notepad WinMain. All right, I can view the loaded modules with LM. And you see all the modules that are loaded. Modules that don't have symbols are here. Modules that do have symbols will show a path to something ending in PDB. Those are the symbols. And kernel 32 has symbols, and ntdil has symbols, but most modules don't have symbols. All right, you can do a stack trace with K, and it just shows you the same information as this stack pane. You can control those panes up here on the View tab. View locals or registers or disassembly or lots of things here. All right, and so if I want to find the API calls that create files, it's ntdil create file, and there they are, ZW create file and NT create file. And remember, we used these in an earlier project with API monitor. We were monitoring these to watch, I think Notepad in that case, create files by monitoring the API from another direction. And so here I can put a breakpoint at ZW create file with BU. And now if I do BL to list the breakpoints, I now have two breakpoints, one at WinMain and one at create file. And now if I run again with Go, I'll move ahead until I hit that create file, and so it has broke again in ntdil nt create file. And so if I do a stack trace here, it will show me the stack trace is now a whole lot deeper, down to 30 in hexadecimal. So that's 48 items in the stack. I'm 48 dream within a dream layers down here. And if you look at the start, here's where the K command happened, and this 00 tells me what thread I'm in. It is, the first number is the processor number, and the second is the thread number. So I'm in processor number 0 and thread number 0 in this process. If you have multi-processors, and you might very well have multiple threads, you'd see different numbers there. So I can delete the breakpoints. If I do BL to see them, I can delete them right here. I can clear this one. If I clear it, it just types BC0. That's the clear command to disable one. This will clear one. All right, like CAD. Well, I don't know. I can't. Well, you're talking about something else. Good. All right, anyway, so that's the game there. All right, so that's the first one, 430. And the next one, 431, is source level debugging. Here, let me